The purple twilight deepened, and the air on the porch grew teeth. Bopo, ever the gentleman, draped a quilt decorated with smiling daisies over Tippy's shoulders before heaving himself up from the swing.
"Right,"
he announced, his voice booming with a performer's confidence.
"Operation Anniversary Extravaganza is a go. Tonight, my dear Tippy-Toes, you shall dine like a queen. I'm making my world-famous triple-decker rainbow noodle surprise."
Tippy's painted smile widened into a genuine one. "Is that the one that requires a fire extinguisher, a mop, and a speculum?"
"Only on Tuesdays," Bobo shot back with a wink.
Inside, the cabin's kitchen was cozy and small, clearly designed for people who didn't have feet the size of bread loaves. But Bopo was undeterred. He donned a chef's hat that was comically tiny on his large pink-fringed head and began his work with the focus of a tightrope walker. Mr. Pips, chattering with excitement, hopped onto the counter to serve as his official taster and chief of mischief. Bopo measured flour with the precision of someone guessing the weight of a fish, sending a great white cloud billowing into the air. He cracked eggs with such force that bits of shell flew like shrapnel. Tippy, sitting at the small wooden dining table, watched the culinary chaos unfold with the fond amusement of someone who had seen this show many times before. Mr. Pips, meanwhile, dipped a curious finger into a pile of spilled sugar, his eyes going wide with delight.
"The secret,"
Bopo declared, kneading a massive lump of dough on the floured board,
"is passion."
He produced several small bottles of food coloring from one of their supply trunks. He divided the dough into 3 sections and began adding drops of neon pink, electric blue, and sun yellow. With each squeeze, he worked the color into the dough, his huge hands turning the pale lumps into vibrant, Play-Doh-like creations. Flour dusted his overalls, and a streak of blue paste appeared on his cheek, mirroring the color of Tippy's hair. Then came the pasta roller, a hand-cranked device he'd insisted on packing. He clamped it to the edge of the counter and began feeding the dough through. At first it went well. Long, beautiful ribbons of yellow pasta emerged from the machine. But the blue dough was stickier. It gummed up the rollers, and when Bopo applied more force, the machine gave a metallic groan, and the crank handle shot off, ricocheting off a copper pot with a loud pang. Mr. Pips shrieked, ducking behind the flour canister. Tippy leaped to her feet, moving with fluid grace. "Bopo Bear, are you okay?"
"Just a minor setback," Bopo boomed, undaunted. He grabbed a rolling pin. "We'll do it in the old-fashioned way."
He began rolling the pink dough with tremendous energy, but his strength was his enemy. The dough flattened, stretched, and then stuck fast to the rolling pin, the counter, and most of his upper body. He tried to pull it off, but it was like wrestling an octopus made of bubble gum. He twisted one way, and a sheet of pink dough slapped him in the face. He spun the other way and found his arm glued to the countertop. Through it all, Tippy couldn't help it. A giggle escaped her lips, and then another, until she was leaning against the doorframe, shaking with laughter. Mr. Pips, seeing that the danger had passed, peeked over the canister and began to clap his little hands together. The sight was too much for Bopo. Trapped in his own sticky pink creation, he looked at Tippy's joyful face, and a deep, rumbling laugh started in his chest.
"Okay,"
he chuckled, peeling the dough from his cheek with a wet, sloppy sound.
"Maybe Operation Anniversary Extravaganza is more of a comedic interlude.